Grub Mudd, I see you doing your shorts. Well, you have your question here is interesting, guys. Concrete. I asked for a specific reason. You guys watch videos and know we have a Kubota backhoe, old beast, but I want to get my own toy, Bobcat. So his bias is you just said you want to get a Bobcat, and this is a Kubota, and this is John Deere. So neither one's the Bobcat. Okay, but let's go on from there. We do tons of back patios, some accessible, most not. So my question is, which machine would you rather see me get? A regular skid steer or a brand new Kubota stand on REM? This one down here, guys. You stand on the back of it. Okay. Those who really watch my show, what do you think? All right, let's cut to the chase. A couple things. You want to make sure this has the wet line, the exterior wet line, so you can put a hammer on it. All right, this is nice for you because you do a lot of back patios. It's a little bit slower, but you'll get used to the speed. You can't, you'll get used to everything about it. It's going to be easy to maintain. It's got a smaller engine. It's going to be easy to service. It's light. It's smaller, so you're going to be able to transport it with different trailers if you need to. Now you're getting into issues with tying down. These machines tear up the shit out of ground. This has a track on it. You want to make sure this track, it's 2021, this track is in good condition. You want to make sure that you can find the parts easily in your location if you do need them. Research this machine and see what people say about them. I've had this machine on many jobs, and you'll be surprised at what it can do. Now, it probably only lifts 500 pounds right here at the bucket, so you're not going to have any breakout force, but you'll have the attachment you should buy, the hammer, that will get you your small samples of concrete you need to remove. And then you need to know your truck side walls. What's the lift over, up and lift over. Remember, when this lifts up, this bucket will level out and it'll start throwing debris forward, so you don't want it to hit the side of your truck. So you have to dry run the height of that, measure it with a tape measure, and see how it makes out. You're never going to be able to move your debris around in your truck once you get it in. You'll have to climb in and move it. This one possibly also. Also, these beasts do flip over. They're not. This is 2014 John Deere. They flip over. They're skiddy. They tear the shit out of a lawn, and they're not going to fit through a fence. Whereas this will get through a lot of gates. As far as you finding the workers to do the finishing work, you're gonna have to pay. You're going to have to pay, and then you need some do not compete clauses, in there, and things like that. It's a big question there, but you're going to have to pay. You got to be careful crossing the line of hiring somebody by a subcontractor, because you hire them too much and they become your employee, and now your wages have to go up to cover the employees' workman's comp, etc. Especially since you're posting on YouTube, and if you show repeated workers, that's a record that the worker is an employee and not a subcontractor. So you'll cross the line on that one. Okay, so you worry about credit score and all that because of your past drug use. Any guys, if you Grub Mudd, part of his character on here is, he says, reformed drug user, and he's got into concrete with his dad. Your dad is a family thing, you tie him into the family, you get around you cut your dad in, you get around, if he can help out, you cut him in, and now you don't have to worry about workman's comp. Family doesn't pay have to worry about wages like that. All right, so what else you got here? Insurance. You want to make sure your insurance is good. Somebody slips on your patio, you make sure that's covered. Your equipment, of course, you want to tag it. Tag it for somebody stealing it, and hide the tag there. The couple of air tags, whatever they do. That's so simple these days. So if you got access to it, then go with the little guy And you can always, because you're doing a lot of rear yards, you do a ton of rear yards, all right? You can also use this as your bucket for removing your concrete from the front to the back. As long as you put it on something smooth and you don't bounce your concrete too much, it becomes a transporter for that. You can do that too, but these things are real skittish and will slap concrete everywhere. One mistake and you're knocking down a wall in somebody's house. The throttling and behavior of this is much better. But keep a power washer handy. You want to keep the concrete out of here. You want to keep these tracks clean and clear. Clean and clear. These are wheeled, obviously, and you still want to keep everything clean and clear there also. But clean your machine up. So invest in an electric power washer, not gas, so it will easy plug in and work, and with instant on, instant off. You won't be, I don't feel like dealing with it today. No. Electric power washer. They're only like $200. You get 2,000 psi out of it. Keep it clean, dry, and serviceable. All right, what else you got here for me? That's it for Grub Mudd. Let's see. But the old backhoes are useless. The big backhoes, unless you've got a big commercial job, they're useless. Again, these little guys here, you can take them into a small area. Inside, you can do interior jobs. Put a good fan in there to get that exhaust out. And you can take these into interior jobs, down hallways. Again, fans to get the exhaust out. And use CO2 testers if you are going to do that. But these tracks are great for not tearing up everything in the world. It's currently a very professional way to go about concrete in the rear of a property. And again, it acts as a buggy for you. You got your buggy here. Now, with that said, you can see how much concrete it can take with no problems because you don't have to raise it up all the way. The more you raise it, the less load it can take. But if you only needed to get it off the ground, you might find, and you don't tip over, you might find that you can get, instead of 500 pounds in here, you might better get 700 pounds of concrete, which would be, only another 2 square foot of concrete, which is significant. You might be able to put some metal walls you clip on here to help it splashing. So you put some little thin metal on here, you clip on, bolt on, the bolt on while you're doing the job, and it gives you, and you only fill it to there, and that gives you your anti-splash back onto your machine. You don't want concrete all over here. What else, Grub? Well, wish you the success there and keep going at it. Also, a J-boy ain't good for credit. All right. Oh, got to answer the phone, so gotta go, guys.